My name is Ron'el, aka The Art of Fading, also known as Ron'el The Groomer. I knew I wanted to be a barber when I was probably about 14, 15. My older cousin used to cut hair. He hustled, but he did two businesses that were straight cash. And I used to always see go to the barber shop and he would come back and be mad about his haircut. So he wanted to tamper around with it himself. He would shape himself up. So then when I noticed the only two people who had the type of money that I like to see, he would always pull out wads of cash. Now, granted, he was he was in the streets doing some illicit, but I love the fact that he never wanted for anything. The only other person that I saw that had that type of stability in my eyes was a barber. Same cash pulling out, always had nice clothes, nice cars. So I wanted to be a barber right then. And once I equivalated it to drawing, it was locked in. My first experience was in 2001. I had just came home from the military. I was already cutting hair. I was already cutting me and my friends' hair before going into the military. Go in the basement, run the clippers through. So when I came home, I wanted to continue it. And I ran into a barbershop near a nail salon that I was taking my daughter's mother to get her fingers done. So one of the barbers happened to be in there. I just asked him how could I get into it. I was so interested in it, and he told me to come do basically an audition. I had to bring someone to cut their hair, and once I cut their hair, the owner wanted to put me on apprenticeship. I could begin my barbering career there. So I took my best friend in, cut him a Caesar, shaped him up, and from that on, my barber career was born. Here it's just a bigger plateau. Despite being able to build your own reputation and your own plateau on your own outside of any shop, here's just more business and professional. Like the average shop is more lax. You get to be comfortable. You're more dressed with your around the house. Well, not around the house, but more so street out, going out where, and it's more of a friendlier homeboy type setting. But if you go ahead and you look at this atmosphere here with that professionality, you have CEOs coming here, you have entertainers coming here, or you just could have a good networking flow coming here where you meet people that you wouldn't normally meet in a regular shop. So I'd say as far as the professionalism, the networking, and then also, tips are a little bit better too, can't lie about that one. $5 tips in a baseball cap compared to $20 tips in a tie always seem a little bit better. Very. I'll say it's changed in good ways and bad ways, both in the same. 10 years ago, barbers were more catering to a lot more products and different things with their client, but they were on a much smaller scale. It might be something as small as the razor, which is incorporated in a lot of cuts for barbers now, or something as small as a hot towel, where now barbers are starting to get back to a lot of the older things we used to do, the facial massages and the facials and estheticians, like exfoliation, just a whole lot of different things other than the hair that we can begin to touch on now. Barbers used to be dentists, they used to draw blood. We used to do so many other things outside of cutting hair, and now I feel like with everyone being a barber now, where it being such a saturated profession, you gotta go back to some of those old things to make yourself stand out or kind of set yourself apart, because everybody can cut hair, and even with you being a skilled barber or unskilled barber, it's still the same thing. There's 50 of us on a 1 mile radius that can cut hair. So out of that 50, why do you want to come to me more so? Well, if I'm giving you the racer and the hot towel and you get a drink and you're catered to, as opposed to, all right, 15, 20 minutes, I got you in, got you out. Your haircut's nice, but you didn't feel like anything about it was catered to you, or like you don't feel special. So I think now with it being so much competition, we've gotten to the point where we want to add so many incentives for people to come to us, especially with the enhancements, the better I can make you look. If you're magazine ready or red carpet ready, that's more of an incentive for you to come to me. You're charging $15, $20 and you're getting, in some cases, you're getting mediocre work. And you're in and out in 15, 20 minutes, where you can actually pay for that treatment and that extra eye for that meticulousness and come out looking like you're ready for a photo shoot. No, I missed it. My owner of the last shop that I worked at First Attend, Sean, he attended it. I saw some of the clips and pictures that he posted up. Looked like it was a pretty good event. I plan to attend the next one if they do that. Now, I definitely plan to attend, and of course, I love the battle. I think it's a great way to get exposure. So, the more people that can see me, whether it be just for the exposure of notoriety or whether it be for gaining clients, you know, I think that's a great platform for all of us. Barbers have kind of like fell into the shadows, even in comparison to stylists. Stylists are out here doing numbers and, I mean, creatively going crazy on clients, and it's making media. And barbers, I think now have finally got to a point where our craft has evolved to the point where we can start taking that same stage and demanding that same light. I loved it. It was my first two, so I lost both. However, I got to see a lot of different work. I got to see a lot of different aspects of how the judging is done, what they're looking for, and then different techniques. Like I was up against cold cuts in both of them, and each time I was up against him, I seen something different that he was doing, and not necessarily saying that it was like so oddly different, but it was his finesse to something that was similar to what I was doing. So it's always nice to see something else that I can learn to pick up to enhance my cut or share secrets with someone else. So the barbering battle to me is great. Competition only makes you better. I do. First thing you want to see with barbers is who can cut better. So if you're coming to an establishment, or if you happen to be on the side of town and hey, I remember that name from the battle, all right, yeah, he can cut. Or you walk into a shop and you see a barber and you're like, where do I know him from? You're wondering if they could cut, and then you're like, wait a minute, okay, I remember this battle. No, like, so it's definitely giving the client more of a menu, and it allows a barber to showcase. What we do is our art. I've been drawing since I was 6, so I turned my pencil into a clipper, and it's like, you've only seen a taste of what I can do with the clippers. I haven't gotten to draw pictures and do actually collages in people's head. Like, there's so many different vast things we can do within our career field. So I think the battles are great because it allows you to take your time and break it all down, and people get to see, wait, it's not just a haircut. Wow, he got a picture of Jesus in the back of his head, or this person has taken it, and I never knew you could do that with their hair. So I think it's a great way to showcase this. It's Ron'el The Groomer, aka The Art of Fading. You just watched my interview on Dmv'S Illest Barbers. Be sure you come check me out down here at Upper Cuts at the National Harbor, 230 American Way, Oxon Hill, Maryland. Just remember, it's not the cut, it's the power it gives.